Nithyanandam. Let the light shine upon you, and may that light have you radiate with eternal bliss. Welcome. Greetings to you all who are here. Blackophobia. This is something that I'm calling blackophobia, the fear of blackness. Are you afraid of the black? Are you afraid of the dark? Many of you are, and billions on earth are. This irrational fear of darkness or blackness or anything associated with blackness or darkness or dark people is what I'm calling this blackophobia. And the reason why we see this happening all over the earth, where it's affecting billions of people on earth, is because it's a system that people call white supremacy. And I don't acknowledge it as white supremacy because there's nothing supreme about whiteness. There's nothing supreme about whiteness. That's a cosmic truth. That's a universal truth. That's a scientific fact. But this blackophobia is something that's affecting many of you on your spiritual journey. Those who are consider themselves so-called black, so-called white, red, brown people. And it is not all your fault, but it is your job to remove this subconscious fear. And for some of you, conscious fear. See, they have what is called nyctophobia. Nyctophobia is an irrational fear that people have of darkness. So usually they say children have this fear, but adults have this fear too, if not consciously, unconsciously. Then they have negrophobia. Negrophobia is an irrational fear of black people. I think they're both connected. They're both connected. And the reason why, and I understand it to be so, is because of the past 500, 600 years, we've seen this system of so-called white supremacy, which is really fear of blackness, fear of darkness, that has influenced the mind of billions of people on earth. And it's caused this fear of darkness, anything associated with black or dark. Black is evil, black is wicked, black magic, so on and so forth. And our ancestors, which is your ancestors, those who are not considered African, they didn't fear darkness. They didn't fear that which was considered dark. And I say this to say, darkness is also synonymous to the unknown. Our ancestors did not fear the unknown. They didn't fear what was beyond the great beyond. They were masters in the dark arts. They were masters in the occult. Don't be afraid of that word. The occult means hidden. In its root, English word, the occult means hidden, or that which is hidden. They didn't fear the occult. That's why we did fire ceremonies in the dark, meditation, rituals in the dark, ancestral worship in the dark, everything we did in the dark. You know, we had sessions where the children would sit at the feet of the great elders and learn about the cosmos in the dark. No fear of the unknown. We were friendly with the unknown. But with the invaders, these conquerors, when the Europeans came along in Africa and other parts of the indigenous world, they created this fear of black, that black is evil and white is good, and it's still affecting people today. And this is a mental health issue that needs to be addressed. Blackophobia. You see, the misunderstanding of the misunderstanding of darkness creates fear, and the fear of darkness creates hatred. The hatred of darkness creates insanity. And we're seeing a mass psychosis today because of this irrational fear affecting everyone on their spiritual journey, unless you're a master adept, unless you're a mystic who's beyond all of this nonsense, or a yogi who's reached the highest states of consciousness. You won't be affected by this. But many who are still seeking or who are on their journey spiritually are affected by this irrational fear of darkness. And it coincides with this fear of the unknown. And it starts with this misunderstanding. You understand? Understand and understand. This misunderstanding stems from the system that tells you that darkness should be feared. I mean, you could just think about how this has damaged the minds of so many black people all over the earth. Having this self-hatred, this inferiority complex, because black is considered evil, you know? And it's affected all other people who are non-black, the non-Africans of the world. Black is considered evil, so it creates this illusion of a superiority complex in white people and this delusional system of superiority amongst those who don't consider themselves white but don't consider themselves black and don't want anything to do with black. All of this is delusion on top of delusion on top of delusion. So the goal on the spiritual path, I think, is very important for people to become friendly with the unknown, friendly with the dark, friendly with the dark arts, and friendly with black people, the most oppressed people, so-called black people, by the way, because this isn't black. This isn't black. We were known by many different names, by the way. But friendly with black people, because the most oppressed people on earth are the darker people, which are the indigenous people, the original forefathers and foremothers of earth. Why is that? Why are they the most oppressed? This was systematically done by an elite group of people, an international mafia, a society of secrets that understood that reducing, by affecting the vibrational frequency of the planet, the way that you can affect that is by not only colonizing the indigenous people, but creating this group think, this collective thought of fear of darkness, fear of blackness, that then transforms into hatred of darkness. And this group think, this collective thought is affecting the vibrational frequency of the planet, lowering it. This is the metaphysical understanding. This is one of the reasons why it was done. The indigenous people of the planet, who were the original mothers and fathers, were obviously the microcosm of the microcosm of the macrocosm of the universe, the triple blackness of the universe. The children of this triple blackness must be in the image of the macrocosm. That was the indigenous people, that was the black people, the darker skinned people. As above, so below. The law of correspondence. The law of correspondence. And throughout the ancient world and throughout the indigenous world today, the cosmos is synonymous with the divine feminine. The cosmic geometry is synonymous with the divine feminine. You understand? It's considered the mother universe, known by many names: Shakti, Kalima, Aset. So many different names. Nnechuku. So many different names. So of course, that being the macrocosm, the microcosm is the original mother, the black woman, who's the most disrespected human being on earth. What is this doing to the vibration of the earth? I understand it to be lowering it. And they understand that too, the parasitic elite, which is why they create this system of blackophobia. So the only way to solve this is for everyone who is on their journey, everyone who considers themselves friendly with humanity, to not only be friendly with the unknown, to get a better understanding of the unknown, but to also be friendly with the darker skinned people of earth, friendly with the darker skinned people of earth. And through this friendliness, then you can begin to love the darker skinned people of Earth. And through this love, then we can have this universal, synergistic, harmonious relationship with each other and the entire planet or the entire Earth. You understand? Understand and overstand. This is a very important topic, concept that needs to be delved. And I'm going to, take a deep dive into this even more. This is just part one. I'm going to take a deep dive into this a lot more and how this is affecting and influencing all of us. So always remember, ignorance is not bliss. Bliss is enlightenment. So radiate the eternal bliss of 1,000 suns. Eternally blissful. Thank you.